Imagine trying to organize a simple dinner for 10 of your friends. One person wants pizza, another wants sushi, two are on a diet, and someone else is lactose intolerant. It is a nightmare. Now imagine trying to make daily decisions for 1.4 billion people. Total chaos, right? That is exactly why, after sacrificing so much to win our independence, India didn't just guess how to run a country. We wrote an ultimate rule book, the Constitution, and gave every single adult the power to vote. And to organize all those voices, we built a massive, brilliant decision making machine, the Parliament. Welcome to our topic, where we look at how the world's largest democracy actually functions. The Parliament isn't just one big room where people shout at each other. It is a carefully designed bicameral system, meaning it has two houses. First, we have the Lok Sabha, or the House of the People. This is where the representatives that you and your parents vote for sit. But the founders knew India was too incredibly huge and diverse for just one room. So they created a second house, the Rajya Sabha, or the Council of States, to ensure that regional voices and state interests were fiercely protected. And sitting right at the top of this structure, tying it all together, is the President of India. So, what does this massive machine actually do? Its primary job is making the rules. We call this the legislature. But a law doesn't just magically appear overnight. It starts its life as a bill, basically a rough draft of an idea. It gets debated, scrutinized, and voted on in both houses. Take the Right to Education RTE Act, for example. The idea of free education was debated for nearly a century. It was introduced as a bill. Politicians argued over how to fund the schools and pay the teachers. And finally, in 2009, it passed both houses, got the president's signature, and transformed into an act, a binding law that literally created legal pathways for millions of children to go to school. But making the rules is only half the battle. You need someone to actually put those rules into action. Enter the Union Executive. This is the Prime Minister and their Council of Ministers. They are the ones doing the heavy lifting, running the government departments, managing the economy, and enforcing the laws. Now, if the Prime Minister and the Executive have all that power, what stops them from acting like kings? A brilliant concept called checks and balances. The executive cannot just do whatever it wants. It has to answer directly to the legislature. During something called the question hour, members of parliament get to stand up and grill the ministers, demanding answers about where the money is going and why certain policies are failing. And believe it or not, these sessions aren't always just angry shouting matches. The Indian Parliament actually has a beautiful tradition of poetry and humor. Finance ministers have quoted ancient Tamil texts while reading the national budget, and prime ministers have famously used Urdu poetry to playfully roast the opposition right in the middle of a serious debate. Quick break. If you're loving this breakdown and want to master every single tricky concept in your syllabus just like this, hit that subscribe button right now. Thousands of students are learning with us every day, and we don't want you to fall behind. Let's go. Now, the parliament in New Delhi cannot possibly fix a broken street light in Kerala or build a local hospital in Gujarat. So, this entire massive system is perfectly mirrored at the state level. Instead of a parliament, each state has a state assembly, the Vidhan Sabha, and in some states, an upper house called the Vidhan Parishad, filled with MLAs. To stop the central government and the state governments from constantly fighting over who is in charge, the constitution brilliantly divided the powers into three lists. The union list is for national issues like the army and foreign affairs. The state list is for local issues like the police and public health. And the concurrent list is for shared issues like forests and education, where both can make laws. And hovering above all of this, the parliament, the executive, and the states is the judiciary. The Supreme Court and the High Courts act as the ultimate referees. If the parliament tries to pass a law that goes against the constitution, the judiciary will step in and strike it down immediately. But here is the harsh reality. This massive democratic machine is not perfect. Sometimes politicians don't show up for work. Important sessions get disrupted by endless shouting, causing crucial bills to be delayed for years. And shockingly, some elected members even have criminal records.
The system is incredibly powerful, but it only works if the people holding the power are held accountable. And who holds them accountable? You. Democracy isn't a machine you can just turn on and walk away from. It is fueled entirely by informed citizens. When you ask questions, read the news, debate with your friends, and eventually cast your vote, you are the one steering the country. As former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee famously said in the Lok Sabha, governments will come and go, parties will rise and fall, but the nation and its democracy must endure. The rulebook has been written, the machine has been built, but ensuring it actually works for the people, that is entirely up to us.